I think we're on the cusp of ignition here. Let's listen in again.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3. Chamber pressure is nominal.
Seconds into the test flight of the inaugural Starship vehicle. Tower cleared, we're into pitch over. Propulsion reports first stage engines nominal. What a sight from the ground cameras at Starbase. We're flying at twice the thrust of the Saturn V heading to space.
Acquisition of signal, surface proceed.
We're throttled down and throttled back up. Going through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. As the velocity increases, the density of the atmosphere is decreasing.
Max Q.
Lessening stress on the vehicle. The call out, max Q now. Continuing to watch the first stage as we head downrange. Seconds into flight. Our next major activity is going to be set down of the first stage.
Just incredible to watch with
Chills.
Starship.
Just chills. I remember when they all made us watch John Glenn get off when I was in elementary school, and it was like, oh my God, we're a great country. You know, we're beating the Russians. They had Sputnik. We've got this. Wow.
Morgan, that's exactly what Musk talks about, is trying to think about the future once again with aspiration and not fear. This certainly points to that kind of moment.
Listen, you can say what you want about Elon Musk. You can say what you want about Tesla, about Twitter. But when it comes to SpaceX and the space industry, and specifically this emerging, burgeoning, fast-growing commercial space sector, there's SpaceX and there's everyone else. And that is in evidence right now as we're watching this historic flights take place of Starship. This is incredible. This is history in the making, as the most powerful rocket ever built is now flying and making its way to orbit for the first time. At about 3 minutes, guys, you're going to see this booster. If things go according to plan, it's going to separate from the Starship transportation spacecraft. It's going to fall back to Earth for a controlled landing in the Gulf of Mexico, and you're going to see that Starship structure that was on the top of that booster when you saw it on the launch pad. You're going to see it ignite its own engines. It's going to move deeper into space, and it's going to start pushing towards those orbital speeds in the second chapter of this test flight.
So the whole thing's going to take about an hour and a half, right? Obviously no personnel on board.
Nope.
And there's no cargo this time.
That's right.
And all of this will lead to, in terms of the Artemis program, Morgan, of what in the next, say, 2 years?
So there are going to be many, many tests after this one. As I noted before, this is a system that is designed to be reusable. They're not testing the reusability aspects on this flight. That is not part of this mission. But you're going to see those tests. You're going to eventually see tests that do involve crew. You're going to see tests around the moon. And if all goes according to plan, and there's other things that have to happen, too, for Artemis, but you could see this system as soon as, and it's a very ambitious timeline, but as soon as 2025, basically take astronauts for the U.S. and our allies from lunar orbit down to the surface of the moon. It's a $2.9 billion contract for SpaceX with NASA. It's the human landing contract. And it's just one example of the many ways that this Starship system is going to be used, both for government purposes and for commercial purposes. It's very disruptive what the capabilities of this are going to be. The last thing I would say is it'll be used for future Starlink launches, too.
It's going to be a remarkable day if we get humans on the moon in the next couple of years. More